Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode. So I am currently a university student. I'm working while trying to get my degree. So the challenge that I have been experiencing is that I decided I wanted to further my studies in the accounting field as I was working because I did have time, right? So, with that decision made, it was encouraged by the fact that I really absolutely loved accounting, right? And I had like basic knowledge of accounting. I thought to myself, accounting makes sense. So, how about I completely go ahead and just further my studies? So, that's exactly what I did. And because what do I say? My university, no, my matric, which is my grade 12 marks, were not up to par, even though I did go to college. In between waiting for my college diploma, because my college diploma involved 6 months of theory, which I completed, and 6 months of practical, which was work experience. And it was 1 year 6 months, 1 year 6 months, which I did both, and I submitted my paperwork. But while I was waiting for my paperwork to be finalized so that I can get my diploma, in the meantime, I was just work. So that's when I made the decision to further my studies. And in that waiting period, I applied with UNISA. And when I did, because my diploma was not yet finalized, and honestly, I didn't know what was the process in order to get me credited for the courses that I did, which was theory in college. I just apply as though I was a new student. And when I applied, because my matric results, like I said, were not up to par, so I first did a higher certificate in accounting sciences so that I can enroll for the degree. So the accounting sciences, it took about 2 years. The first year was around COVID time, so instead of having a semester that took 6 months, they had it as a full year due to COVID. And then the next semester, things went back to normal. So it was just the 6 months. But because I was enrolled in both years, with the 6 months being the first 6 months, I couldn't enroll for the degree unless I completed the, yeah, the high certificate. So it took me 2 years to complete the certificate. And then once that was done, then in 2023, that's when I enrolled for my degree and I did my first year. And then what I had done initially is that I enrolled for 5 modules the first semester, and with the 5 modules that I registered for, I failed a single module, right? So instead of having at the end of the semester, which was the first 6 months of the year, instead of having 5 modules completed, I had 4 modules completed. And then the balance of the second semester, I tried to enroll for 5. But now what happened was, with regards to my degree, some of the modules that I did on my higher certificate, it was credited, but I noticed that they had credited me for a module that I didn't do, and the module that I did do, I was not credited for. But instead of going to the admin department because I didn't know what to do or how to do that, what I did was, when registering, I registered the module that they credited me for, but I knew I didn't do. So I registered for that module, and then I registered for the 3 new modules plus the module that I failed. So I registered for 5 modules. But what happened with the 5 modules that I registered for, the one that I got credit for but didn't do, they picked it up as credited. So they deregistered me for that one, and I only found out once my registration was finalized. So instead of doing 5 modules for the last semester in 2023, I was actually doing 4 modules, one that I'd failed plus 3 more modules, right? So amongst the 4 modules that I was doing, right, the one module that I failed, I actually passed this time, but now I failed a different module. So at the end of the year, so this one is the one that I was registered for, but I got deregistered because they picked up I was accredited. I still need to fix that. And then this one is the one that I failed. I now passed, but then I failed a different module this time. So now I only passed 3 modules plus the 4 that I passed the first 6 months. I now had like 7 modules completed for the year instead of 10, right? I hope you are following along with me. And now it's 2024. I registered for 5 modules, and the one that I still need to fix, I haven't fixed it. I'm hoping to fix it before the next semester. And then with regards to these 5 modules, the one is the one that I am repeating from last semester, and the other 4 modules is the 4 modules that I'm currently doing. So the modules that I'm currently doing right now, sorry, I'm currently busy with accounting for companies. I'm doing taxation, and then we're doing investment, we're doing economics, and the economics, instead of being a 6 month module, it's actually a year module. And the last one that I'm doing is treasury. So with treasury and investment, I had 2 assessments/assignments to do and submit, and I submitted both and I passed. It wasn't good grades, but I passed. But I still need to do the exam for both, which will determine whether I make it for the semester or not. So yeah, with investment, I am having a difficult time with the concept. And with treasury, I still believe that I can make it, but investment is the one that I still need to make it to. And then now we have 3 taxation. I still think I can make it because it's continuous assessment. Some is in a form of a quiz, and the others is you have to do an assignment. So they give you maybe 3 days to complete the assignment and then submit it. So there's still hope there. And then economics, I haven't started because I was trying to focus on accounting now. Accounting for companies is the module that I'm having the most difficult time with. Like I said, I love accounting. That's the reason I decided to further my studies. But now I'm kind of stuck, and if I don't complete this accounting module, then I cannot move on to the next accounting module. So I need to make it, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make it. And I'm going to show you the strategy that I'm going to now try and devise in order for me to make it, because I need to make it. And this feels like I'm at war because I really want this so bad, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I should just give up because this is difficult. But I don't want to give this up. I really want it. I want it for myself. I want it for my family. Like, I want this to be my testimony to say, hey, I can do tough things, because there's still a long way to go. I'm only just starting out with my, okay, not just starting out, but like I'm in the middle, I'd like to think, of my degree, and I would like to complete it and further my studies even further after this degree. So I can't be stuck here and not move. I'm the type of person, I don't like to plan. Besides the fact that I don't like to, I don't know how, but I believe it's something that I'm going to have to learn in order to make it. So I've devised a strategy over here with regards to accounting, and I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to come back and review it either during the course of the assessments, just to let you know on the feedback whether my strategy worked or not. Like I said, I'm not good with strategies and I don't like strategies, but I'm gonna try and devise one up and pray to God that this works, because I really need it to work. So yeah. So with regards to accounting, this is now my strategy. So I wrote it down. I hope you can see. So the strategy is for studying this accounting because it has a lot of accounting standards that I'm struggling to grasp because I'm really not good with theory and reading. So the plan for me is that I'm going to approach the question papers, right? And because I do have question papers and solutions, and the strategy with approaching these question papers, because now my struggle is, even though I say I'm studying, it's difficult for me to sit through a study session and make it. So yeah, my mind is in different places and I'm like, but what if I don't make it? Should I do this? Should I not do it? And then I end up, even though sometimes I do have time, my mind is not right. So I don't see this through, and it's something that I am trying to change, and I'm going to take you along with me on this journey as we devise these plans and these strategies in hopes that this would work, right? So the first approach is that I'm going to approach the question papers with what would Timpani do, and then based on my understanding of how the question paper should be approached, I'm going to answer it. So I'm going to answer it, I'm going to complete the question paper, and then once I am done, the second question would be, what would examiners expect? So with what would examiners expect is that now I will go on to the solution. I'll compare what I did versus the solution. The solution would be what examiners expect us to answer the question as. And then I will try and align into the way they say we should answer the question. And with regards to theory, I've tried to read theory, and even after reading the theory, like, I can't seem to remember anything, and I don't like writing. And once I start writing, then that's all I can manage. And another thing is that I'm working, so it's really challenging for me to write, do the theory, do the practice. So if I have like 1 hour to study, I need to use it and be productive. And with theory, it takes up so much time without me actually applying the theory. And it's not that just because I read the theory, I summarized it, I can recollect it. Another thing, I'm not good at summaries. I usually can't recollect what I read, and my summaries really don't look like summaries. So with regards to theory, the approach would be that I will say, since I really don't know what the theory is, I'll just go to the solution, and based on the questions that were asked on previous question papers, I'm thinking this is the theory that the examiners wish we knew. This is the theory that the examiners want to test us on because they believe it's the theory that we should know. So based on that, I'm going to make out flashcards and I'm going to learn the theory via the flashcards that were devised from the question papers, right? So this is my short summary towards studying accounting, and I hope this works, and I will come back and check in so and let you know how it went. Okay, so now that I've taken through the plan and the suggestion that I have in order to improve my accounting marks, if you have any suggestions for me, please let me know down below, but I will come back and check in and let you know how it went. So currently it's the 2nd of May. I have an assessment that's due. What they do with our assessment is that they give us a time limit and a specific date, right? So you do the assessment as though it's an examination. So there's an examination tool that's used whereby you have to have your camera on so they can see what you're doing and you're not supposed to refer anywhere. So what I'm going to do is, based on the strategy, it's now I think 10:30, if I'm not mistaken, 10:30 to 11. I'm going to try and attempt the question papers around the modules that they said, around the learning units that they said we should prepare. And yeah, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use the strategy. So I'm going to say, what would Tembani do? And immediately after saying what would Tembani do, I will go back to the solution and say what would the examiner do, and then I'm going to make flashcards with the theories. So I think what I'm going to do is, on each topic that they said they are examining us on, I'm going to attempt it, check out the solution, each question. So some of these might take me 30 minutes, 50 minutes, or even an hour. I'm going to try, and there's like really 6-7 modules that I need to cover. No, 3, learning unit 3 to 8. So it will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's actually 6 learning units that I need to cover before this assessment. So approaching the question, checking the solutions to try and align with what the examiners want, and then I'm completing my flashcards and I'm trying to learn those. And then once I've reviewed the solution, the plan would be to go back and do the same assessment, but now trying to align with the examiner said, because I did receive advice on the internet to say that we shouldn't use the oh yes method, where you look at the solution and you're thinking, I understand how they got to the answer, and say I will remember in the examination. Apparently that does not work. I'm not sure, but I'm going to take that advice. So instead of just looking at the solution and saying, oh yes, I'm now going to take the solution as correction, and I'm going to redo the assessment applying what they said I should do, right, with these questions. And I'll come back and report back. And one more thing is that with this accounting module, right, I had have six assessments to complete, right? So the first and the second one, I already lost out on the 10. So the first one, it was counting 10% towards my final mark, right? I showed up for the examination within the time limit, but what I didn't do is I didn't submit, because I looked at the question paper. I was frustrated at how unprepared I was to write it, so I did not submit it. And the second one, I showed up, and then I prepared, I think, two learning units. I was supposed to have prepared 3. I prepared the 2, and I was quite confident with the 2. And then I didn't have enough time to prepare the third, but then I had to do a practice question just before the examination, and just before, not the examination, before the assessment, and just before I could start with preparing the third learning unit. But then I realized that the way they asked the questions of the 2 units that I had prepared, there was so much I still didn't know, so I became despondent, and I did not go ahead and prepare the third one. And because I was despondent when I showed up for the assessment, this one was now in a form of a quiz, where the first one, it was a question paper and you had to write it down or type it down and then scan it and submit. The second one, it was in a form of a quiz. So I just randomly chose A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. I didn't even attempt the question, so I have no idea how much I know or how much I don't know. I was really despondent at the time. I was not in a good space. So out of randomly choosing, I got like 30%. I'm not sure what percentage it would count to my final marks, but out of the 6 opportunities we have, I already ruined the 2. But then they set up the third assessment in order for us to try and redeem ourselves if we feel we haven't done our best in the second assessment. So that's the one that I'm writing today, which is the third one. And I pray to God God, if you're watching this, please pray for me that I make it and I get at least a pass mark so that it will set me up at least for at least a fighting chance for the other examinations. Not examination assessments. I keep saying examinations instead of assessments because these things are set up as examinations and it's really scaring me. But yeah. So up until next time, bye guys.